Good afternoon to everybody. This is Vijay Lakshmi from KGBV Sambepalli Biological Science CRT, Kadapa district. Today's topic is nutrition in animals. Already we learned last session, plants prepare their own food by the process of photosynthesis. But animals do not prepare their own food. Animals get their food from the plants or plant eating animals. So, all organisms need food for growth, repair, and functioning of the body. First of all, nutrition. What is meant by nutrition? The process of intake of nutrients is called nutrition. Animal nutrition includes nutrient requirement, mode of intake of food, and its utilization in the body. So, animal nutrition mainly three functions. One is nutrient requirement, mode of intake of food, and utilization the body. So, you have studied in previous class that food consists of many components. Try to recall the children. That are carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins and minerals, roughages, and water. These are the main components in our food. Now let us the study of digestion. The components of food such as carbohydrates are complex substances. So in our food main components are carbohydrates. They are complex substances. These complex substances cannot be utilized as such. So they are broken down into simpler substances. The breakdown of complex components of food into simpler substances is called digestion. What is meant by digestion? The breakdown of complex components of food into simpler substances is called digestion. Here, complex substances, these are breakdown into simpler substances. This process is known as digestion. In digestion, taking food is the main process. So, taking food is different ways. The mode of taking food into the body varies in different organisms. So, organisms taking food in different ways. Like bees and hummingbirds suck the nectar of plants. Infants of human and many other animals feed on mother's milk. Here, bees the nectar. Bees feeds the nectar. Here the animals feed the milk from their mother. Snakes like the python swallow the animals they prey upon. Some aquatic animals filter tiny food particles floating nearby and feed upon them. Here the aquatic animals feed the food in aquatic region. Different animals eat different kind of food and use different mode of feeding mechanisms. Here one of the activity, see the children the activity, what is the type of food and mode of feeding of the following animals. Now here some animals. Snails. Snails, where is snails live? Snails live in wet places. Snails get food, leaves and insects. What mode of feeding mechanism? Snails mode of feeding is scraping. Scraping the animal and swallowing. Next one, ant. Ant food is food particles. Some food particles and small grains. The mode of feeding is chewing or cutting. Next, eagle. Eagle's food is small animals. Small animals is food of eagles. Mode of feeding is capturing and swallowing. Eagle's mode of feeding is capture and swallowing. Next, hummingbird. Hummingbird food is nectar of flowers. Nectar of flowers. Mode of feeding is sucking the nectar from flowers. Next, lice. Where is lice lives? Lice lives in our head region. They take the food blood. How feeding of mode? Lice feeding mode is sucking the blood. Next, mosquitoes. Mosquitoes is lives in everywhere. The food is blood. Mosquitoes food is blood. What mode of feeding mosquitoes? Sucking the blood. Next, butterfly. Butterfly's food is nectar or flower. The feeding mechanism of butterfly is siphoning. Siphoning means liquid food swallowing. Liquid food swallowing is siphoning. Next, housefly. Houseflies food almost everything houseflies. The mode of feeding is siphoning. Housefly also mode of feeding is siphoning. Okay. Now, one of the amazing fact. Starfish feeds on animals covered by hard shells of calcium carbonate. After opening the shell, the starfish pops out its stomach through its mouth to eat the soft animal inside the shell. So, starfish eats covering the shell animals. After opening the shell, the starfish pops out the stomach. Pops out means stomach opening first through the mouth to eat the soft animal inside the shell. The stomach then goes back into the body and the food is slowly digested. Here the starfish. Starfish first of all stomach out through the body, then eat and goes out back the stomach. Digestion in humans. We take in food through the mouth, digest and utilize it. So, we are taking the food through the mouth, then it digests and utilize it. The undigested parts of the food are defecated. Have you ever wondered what happens to the food inside the body? The food passes through a continuous canal which begins of the buccal cavity or oral cavity and ends of the anus. So, the food first of all pass through the canal, that is buccal cavity or oral cavity, and end at the anus. Now see the children human digestive system diagram. Here the canal can be divided into various compartments or various parts. Here the digestive system parts. They are the buccal cavity. The buccal cavity. It is the buccal cavity. It is the starts the digestion here. Next, food pipe or esophagus. Food pipe or esophagus. It is a esophagus. Next, stomach. 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 Here the stomach. Next, small intestine. Small intestine. Here, small intestine. Large intestine. Next, large intestine. This is the large intestine. Next, anus. Anus is the end part of the digestive system. Is it not a very long path? These paths together form the alimentary canal. These all paths are called alimentary canal from mouth to anus. It is the parts of digestive system. First of all, we take the food components gradually get digested as food travels through the various components. The inner walls of the stomach and the small intestine and the various glands associated with the canal such as salivary glands, the liver and the pancreas secrete digestive juices. Here the food combines the juices, digestive juices. Digestive juices secretes salivary glands, liver and pancreas. The digestive juices convert complex substances of food into simpler ones. The digestive tract and the associated glands together constitute the digestive system. So, the digestive glands and digestive tract combines the process of digestion is complete. First of all, where is the digestion system starts? The digestion system starts with mouth and buccal cavity. First of all, we take the food into the body through the mouth. The process of taking food into the body is called ingestion. Ingestion means taking food into the body. We chew the food with the teeth and break it down mechanically into small pieces. When we chew the food mechanically into small pieces. Each tooth is rooted in a separate socket in the gums. Our teeth vary in appearance and perform different functions. So our teeth in different appearance perform different functions. Accordingly, they are given different names. Based on function and shape, the teeth are different. They are here the tooths. There are 4 in types. First of all, here the incisors. Incisors means cutting the food materials. Incisors is cutting the food material. These are 4 incisors. Second one is canines. 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 Canines function is tearing the flesh. Tearing the flesh. Third one is premolars. Premolars. It is help in food chewing. Fourth one is molars. Molars function is grinding the food. So these are the structure of teeth. It is teeth structure.
Children, how many teeth are present in our mouth? So, we find for this a small activity. First of all, wash your hands, open your mouth and look into the mirror and count your teeth. Use your index finger to feel the teeth. How many kinds of teeth could you find? Yes, there are four kinds of teeth I found. Take a piece of an apple or bread and eat it. Which teeth do you use for biting and cutting? And which ones for piercing and tearing? Which teeth are used to tearing the apple? We use the biting of apple first line of teeth. Also find out the ones that are used for chewing and grinding. So our mouth has four types of teeth having. Record your observations in table. Here the table are given children. Type of teeth, number of teeth present, lower jaw and upper jaw, total teeth. So children, please table fill. Now sweets and tooth decay. Nowadays, children are very like chocolates, biscuits, sweets, and soft drinks. These are very danger. It is decay the tooth. Normally, bacteria are present in our mouth, but they are not harmful to us. It is helpful. However, if we do not clean our teeth and mouth after eating, many harmful bacteria also being to live and grow in it. These bacteria break down the sugar present from the leftover food and release acids. The acids gradually damage the teeth. So, we do not clean our teeth regularly. The bacteria present in teeth, they are released acids. They are harmful to damage the teeth. This is called tooth decay. What is tooth decay? The bacteria break down the sugars present from the leftover food and release acids. The acids gradually damage the teeth. This is the tooth decay. If it is not treated in time, it causes severe toothache and in extreme causes result in tooth loss. So, we do not treat in time, the teeth are damaged or tooth loss. Chocolates, sweets, soft drinks and other sugar products are the main culprit of tooth decay. So, teeth are very important. Every day we clean the teeth twice. Therefore, one should clean the teeth with a brush or dothan and dental floss. Floss means a special strong thread which is moved between two teeth to take out trapped food particles. At least twice a day and rinse the mouth after every meal. So, we clean the teeth every day twice and at least a day rinse the mouth after eating meal. Also, one should not put dirty fingers or any unwanted objects in the mouth.
Our mouth contains salivary glands, teeth, and tongue. Salivary glands secretes saliva. Children, do you know the saliva's function on the food? No. For this, we conduct a small activity. Here the activity. Take 2 test tubes, label them A and B in test tube. A test tube, put 1 teaspoonful of boiled rice. In test tube B, keep 1 teaspoonful of boiled rice after chewing it for 3 to 5 minutes. So, we take 2 test tubes A and B. A test tube filled with boiled rice, B test tube filled with boiled rice, chewing after 3 to 5 minutes. Then add 3 to 4 ml of water in both the test tubes. Now pour 2 to 3 drops of iodine solution in each test tube and observe it. After some time, the 2 test tubes change the colors. Why? Because A test tube contain boiled rice and iodine solution. Iodine change the starch into glucose. B test tube only chewing rice and mix with saliva. So saliva containing a enzyme ptyalin, it converts glucose into starch. So the B test tube cannot change the color. The saliva breaks down the starch into sugars. So B test tube contains starch. So the starch converts into sugar by the saliva. See the children, the function of saliva on the floor. A small activity doing. For this activity, some materials are required. Required materials are starch powder, test tubes, dropper, iodine solution. These are required materials. Now, take a pinch of starch in a test tube and add little water and shake well. The starch powder mixed with water, the solution is prepared. Now, add 3 drops of iodine solution to the test tube. Only 3 drops. See the children. The starch solution slowly change the color blue or black. Now the solution change the color. Starch solution turns into blue-black color. It indicates starch. Now take the saliva collecting a teaspoon into a test tube. Take about 5 ml of starch solution into 2 test tubes. Both test tubes fill with 5 ml of solution, starch solution. Then add a teaspoon of saliva into 1 test tube only. And do not add any into another test tube. Only 1 test tube filled with saliva another test tube do not add. Observe the solutions color. First test tube color blue black. After 10 minutes, both test tubes observe blue-black color disappear in the test tube in which saliva is added. There is no color change in the test tube in which we have not added saliva. Reason for discoloring. When we add saliva into the starch solution, the enzyme thiolin acts on starch and converts it into maltose sugars. Starch gives blue-black color in the presence of iodine solution, but maltose sugar does not. Hence, blue-black color disappear in one test tube in which saliva added. The next part is tongue. The tongue is a fleshy muscular organ attached at the back to the floor of the buccal cavity. So, tongue attached to the back floor of the buccal cavity. It is free at the front and can be moved in all directions. So, tongue freely moved all directions in front part. Do you know the functions of the tongue? No. We use our tongue for talking. Besides, it mixes saliva with the food during chewing and helps in swallowing food. We also taste food with our tongue. So, our tongue is helps in three kinds. First one is talking. Second one is mix saliva with food. Third one is taste. It has taste buds that detect different taste of food. We can find out the position of taste but by the following activity.
Function of the taste buds, a small activity conduct. For this activity, prepare a separate sample each of sugar solution, common salt solution, lemon juice and juice of crushed neem leaf or bitter gourd. So, for this activity, we prepared 4 types of solutions. Next, blind one of your classmates and ask him to take out the tongue and keep it in straight and flat position. Use a clean toothpick to put the above samples one by one on different areas. Use a new toothpick for each sample. So, we take a clean toothpick and put the drop above samples one by one in different areas of the tongue. Ask the classmate which areas of the tongue could detect the sweet, salty, sour and bitter substances. Now, write down your observations and label figure. So, here the taste buds picture on the tongue. This is the tongue. Here the taste buds are located. Which taste buds are located in the place of tongue? Do you know? No. Bitter taste are located in the part of backside. And salty and sweet taste are located in the front part. Then sugar solutions are in taste buds identified in the side. Sour taste are identified in the sides. Okay children, understand? Sometimes when you eat in a hurry, talk or laugh while eating, you may cough, get hiccups or a choking sensation. Why this occurs? This happens when food particles enter the windpipes. The windpipe carries air from the nostrils to the lungs. So, windpipe carries only winds. Similarly, food pipe carries only food. It runs adjacent to the food pipe, but inside the throat, air and food share a common passage. Here, throat is a common passage of food pipe and windpipe. Then, how is food prevented from entering the windpipe? During the act of swallowing, a flap-like valve closes the passage of the windpipe and guides the food into the food pipe. So, a flap-like structure called a flap-like structure called epiglottis. Epiglottis close the passage of the windpipe and guide the food into the food pipe. If by chance food particles enter the windpipe, we feel choked, get hiccups or cough. So we while eating, we cannot talking and laughing. We not eat a hurry. It is better to avoid these situations. See the children, this is the food pipe. It is also called esophagus. It is a long and cylindrical tube-like structure. The swallowed food passes into the food pipe or esophagus. Here the food swallowing process. The food pipe runs along the neck and the chest. Food is pushed down by movement of the wall of the food pipe. Actually, this movement takes place throughout the alimentary canal and pushes the food downwards. Here the movements, food movements. Food enter into the another part, that is stomach. Sometimes the food is not accepted by our stomach and is vomited out. Recall the instances when you vomited after eating and think of the reason for it. Sometimes we eat highly proteins food, the food cannot digest and return into the esophagus, expelled through the mouth. This situation is called vomiting. Esophagus pushed the food enter into the stomach. It is a stomach picture. Here the stomach is a thick-walled bag-like structure stomach. The shape of the stomach is J-shaped stomach. It is the widest part of the alimentary canal. It receives food from the food pipe at one end and opens into the small intestine at the other end. It is open in the upside esophagus, downwards in the intestine. Okay. The inner lining of the stomach secretes mucus, hydrochloric acid, and digestive juices. The mucus protects the lining of the stomach. The acid kills many bacteria that enter along with the food and makes the medium in the stomach acidic and helps the digestive juices to act. So, stomach secretes a mucus, hydrochloric acid and digestive juices. Mucus helps to protect the stomach and acids kills the bacteria and acidic medium of the food. Next, it helps also digestive juices. Digestive juices break down the proteins into simpler substances. These are the stomach functions. Here the food, some digestion. The working of the stomach was discovered by a strange accident. In 1822, a man named Alexis St. Martin was badly hit by a shotgun. The bullet had seriously damaged the chest wall and made a hole in his stomach. He was brought to an American army doctor, William Beaumont. The doctor saved the patient, but he could not close the hole properly and left it bandaged. Beaumont looked it as a great opportunity to see the inside of the stomach through the hole. He made some wonderful observations. Beaumont found that the stomach was churning food. So, Beaumont, a patient, it take opportunity to see inside the stomach and through the hole. He made some wonderful observations. Beaumont found that the stomach was churning food. Its wall secreted a fluid which could digest the food. Stomach wall secretes a fluid that is help in digest the food. He also observed that the end of the stomach opens into after the digestion of the food inside the stomach is completed. Then food enter into the small intestine from stomach. Here, small intestine is highly coiled and is about 7.5 meters long. So, small intestine is very long pipe. It receives secretions from the liver and the pancreas. Besides, its wall also secretes juices. So, liver and pancreas secretes a juices into the small intestine. The liver is a reddish brown gland situated in the upper part of the abdomen on the right side. It is the largest gland in the body. So, liver is a largest gland. It secretes bile juice that is stored in a sac called the gallbladder. The bile plays an important role in the digestion of fats. So, bile is a juice. It is secreted by the liver. It acts on fats. Fats change into fatty acids in the process of emulsification. The pancreas is a large cream-colored gland located just below the stomach. Here the pancreas. It is the pancreas. Pancreas is left side of the stomach. It is the liver. Liver. This is the gallbladder. These two glands, liver and pancreas, release juices into the intestine, small intestine. The pancreatic juice acts on carbohydrates, fats and proteins and changes them into simpler forms. So, pancreas, pancreas is a gland. It secretes a pancreatic juice. Pancreatic juice acts on carbohydrates, fats and proteins. They change into simpler forms. Partially digested food now reaches the lower part of the small intestine from the stomach, where the intestinal juice completes the digestion of all components of the food. The carbohydrates get broken into simple sugars such as glucose, fats into fatty acids and glycerol, and proteins into amino acids. So, here, small intestine, the food is completely digestion. The completion of digestion of the food in the small intestine. So, where does it goes? It goes, the digested food can now pass into the blood vessels in the wall of the intestine. This process is called absorption. Absorption means digested food enter into the blood vessels. The inner walls of the small intestine have thousands of finger-like outgrowths. These are called villi. Can you guess what the role of villi could be in the intestine? The villi increase the surface area for absorption of the digested food. Each villus has a network of thin and small blood vessels close to its surface. The surface of the villi absorbs the digested food materials. The villus absorb the substances are transported via the blood vessels to different organs of the body, where they are used to build complex substances such as the proteins required by the body. So, absorbed substances are transported through the blood vessels. The blood vessels carries the substances where they are used in the body. This is called assimilation. Assimilation means absorbed substances carries the different part of the body. In the cells, glucose breaks down with the help of oxygen into carbon dioxide and water, and energy is released. In these cells, absorbed material break down with the help of oxygen into carbon dioxide and water, and energy is released. The food that remains undigested and unabsorbed enters into the large intestine. So, undigested food and unabsorbed food enter into the large intestine. This is the villus. It has many capillaries. So, it is a blood vessel. Blood vessels carries the digested food through the villus, and it combines the into body. Large intestine. It is the last part of the digestive tract. The large intestine is wider and shorter than small intestine. The length is about 1.5 meter in length. So, large intestine length is less than small intestine. Its function is to absorb water and some salts from the undigested food material. The remaining waste passes into the rectum and remains there as a semi-solid fecus. The fecal matter is removed through the anus from time to time. This is called egestion. So, egestion is a process. The fecal matter is removed through the anus from time to time. This is a egestion. So, it is the large intestine. It is the length is less than small intestine. The main role is large intestine is undigested food and some salts is removed through the anus from time to time. Diarrhea. Sometimes you may have experienced the need to pass watery stool frequently. This condition is known as diarrhea. In this condition may be caused by an infection, food poisoning, or indigestion. Diarrhea causes are infection, food poisoning, and indigestion. It is very common in India, particularly among children. Under severe conditions, it can be fatal. This is because of the excessive loss of water and salts from the body. Diarrhea should not be neglected. What is the reason for diarrhea? What is the loss of diarrhea? The reason for diarrhea is infection, food poisoning, and indigestion. What materials are lost? The materials are lost from the body is water and salts. So, diarrhea should not be neglected. Even before a doctor is consulted, the patient should be given plenty of boiled and cooled water with a pinch of salt and sugar dissolved in it. This is called oral rehydration solution. This is ORS. How ORS solution is prepared? A glass of boiled and cooled water with a pinch of salt and sugar dissolved in it, the ORS solution is prepared. It is very useful. Our body loss of water and salts, it is regenerate in our body. Digestion in grass eating animals. Children, our digestion is completed. Now, grass eating animals digestion. Have you observed cows, buffaloes, and other grass eating animals chewing continuously even when they are not eating? Yes, actually, they quickly swallow the grass and store it in a part of the stomach called rumen. Rumen is a part of the stomach in grass eating animals. It is the stomach in this rumen. Rumen is the chamber of stomach. Here the food gets partially digested. So the food partially digested in rumen and is called curd. Partially digested food is called curd. So partially digested food later the returns to the mouth in small lumps and the animal chews it. Here the curd return into the mouth and chews it. This process is called rumination. What is the rumination? The curd returns to the mouth in small lumps and the animal chews it. It is called rumination. And these animals are called ruminants. The grass is rich in cellulose, a type of carbohydrate. In ruminants like cattle, deer, etc., bacteria present in rumen helps in digestion of cellulose. So, grass is a cellulose. Cellulose is a group of glucose molecules. It is not digested in the rumens. So, rumens take the help of bacteria and digest cellulose. Many animals, including humans, cannot digest cellulose. Animals like horses, rabbit, etc. have a large sac-like structure called cecum between the esophagus and the small intestine. So, rabbit, horse have a cecum. Cecum is one of the part. Here, cellulose is digested. It is located between the esophagus and small intestine. The cellulose of the food is digested here by the action of certain bacteria which are not present in humans. So, some bacteria are help the digestion of food in animals. Feeding and digestion in amoeba. Amoeba is a microscopic single-celled organism found in pond water. So, amoeba is a microscopic. It cannot seen with the naked eye. It can be seen with a microscope, that is electron microscope. Amoeba has a cell membrane, a rounded, dense nucleus and many small bubbles like vacuoles. Vacuoles in its cytoplasm. Here amoeba. This is the amoeba. Here the nucleus is rounded and big. The food vacuole is present in the, this is the cytoplasm. Amoeba constantly changes its shape and position. So amoeba change its position constantly. It pushes out one or more finger-like projections called pseudopodia. Pseudopodia means false feet for movement and capture of food. This is the pseudopodia. Whenever pseudopodias are finger-like projections or pushes out one. These pseudopodias are used to capture of food. Amoeba feeds on some microscopic organisms. When it senses food, it pushes out pseudopodia around the food particle and engulfs it. The food becomes trapped in a food vacuole. So, amoeba found the microorganism near that it pushes out pseudopodia around the food particle and engulfs it. Digestive juices are secreted into the food vacuole. The food enters into the vacuole. The vacuole secretes the digestive juices. They act on the food and break it down into simpler substances. Gradually, the digested food is absorbed. The absorbed substances are used for growth, maintenance, and multiplication. The undigested residue of the food is expelled outside by the vacuole. So, vacuole is a part that is digested food and expel the undigested food is also used. The basic process of digestion of food and releases of energy is the same in all animals. So, all animals taking the food and digestion of food is same. So, see the children understand my topic. My topic is completed. Here some keywords we learn this. Absorption, amino acid, amoeba, assimilation, bile, buccal cavity, canine, cellulose, digestion, agitation, fatty acid, food vacuole, gallbladder, glycerol, incisor, ingestion, liver, milk teeth, molar, premolar teeth, esophagus, pancreas, premolar, pseudopodia, rumen, ruminant, rumination, salivary glands, villi, saliva. What you have learnt in this lesson, children? We have learnt animal nutrition include nutrient requirement, mode of intake of food, and its utilization in the body. Second one is the human digestive system consists of the alimentary canal and the secretory glands. Alimentary canal consists of buccal cavity, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, ending in rectum and anus. The main digestive glands which secretes digestive juices are the salivary glands, the liver, and the pancreas. These are the main digestive glands. The stomach wall and the wall of the small intestine also secrete digestive juices. The modes of feeding vary in different organisms. So, nutrition is a complex process involving ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation, and digestion. These are the main process in the nutrition. Digestion of carbohydrates like starch begins in the buccal cavity. The digestion of protein starch in the stomach. The bile secreted from the liver, the pancreas juice from the pancreas and the digestive juice from the intestinal wall complete the digestion of all components of food in the small intestine. The digested food is absorbed in the blood vessels from the small intestine. The absorbed substances are transported to different parts of the body. Water and some salts are absorbed from the undigested food in the large intestine. The undigested and unabsorbed residues are expelled out of the body as feces throughout the anus. The grazing animals like cows, buffaloes, and deer are known as ruminants. They quickly ingest, swallow their leafy food, and store in the rumen. Later, the food returns to the mouth and the animal chews it peacefully. Amoeba ingests its food with the help of its false feet or pseudopodia. The food is digested in the food vacuole. See the children, here the project work are given for you. Write in our notebook and complete this project work. Collect data from your friends, neighbors and classmates to know more about milk teeth. Children, complete this project work. Okay. Next, today's homework. Draw a neat diagram of human digestive system and label it. See the children, here the diagram of digestive system. So, you also draw the diagram and label the parts. Thank you children. Thank you to one and all once again.